I'm Sandy Geroux, and if you're a leader who's ever had to deal with disengagement of your associates or a lack of ownership on their part that causes them to resort to the old us versus them mentality rather than taking positive and proactive action to create wow experiences, or if you just want to re-energize and re-inspire your team to higher levels of performance, then the WOWplace rules can help. I'm going to show you a model and a summary of how these rules work together to help you create wow experiences and turn your workplace into a wow place.
We're actually going to start with WOWplace rule number 2, which is that a wow place is respectful. This is because it actually takes a combination of other rules to achieve WOWplace rule number 1, which we'll get to in a moment. But WOWplace rule number 2 is all about the fact that effective leaders don't demand respect, they command it. The best way to command respect is to give it first. Regardless of what other people do or expect, show who you are. Keep your eye on the goal. Show respect at all times to everyone at all levels. Someone has to go first. Let it be you as the leader. WOWplace rule number 3 is that a wow place is human, not humanoid. This means that we have to connect with our people on a human level, not just on a business level. Unless we build real relationships with people where they can see that we have at least a few human things in common, they will never see us as people. All they'll see is the big bad corporate entity that is so easy to hate and ignore, the typical us versus them mentality. So connect with them on a deeper level. WOWplace rule number 4 is that a wow place is innovative, creative, and fun. Yes, fun. Dale Carnegie was famous for saying that people rarely learn unless they're having fun. The same goes for engaging, connecting, and innovating. So unless you want to come to a standstill in your organization, make it fun for people to contribute. Now here's where the magic starts to happen, when you combine these circles with each other. When people feel respected and they connect with leaders on a human level that lets them know they're not so different from those leaders, that's when they begin to feel safe to use their judgment and think of ways to get the job done faster, better, easier. That's actually WOWplace rule number 1. A wow place is safe. This is where people start trying to succeed rather than operating at the level of simply trying not to fail. Then, when they feel safe enough to start operating at that higher level, and you combine that with the fact that their leaders are letting them know they want to have innovation, creativity, and fun in the workplace, that's when people feel valued enough to venture ideas and suggestions. And when leaders respectfully acknowledge, consider, and implement those ideas and suggestions, or not, but respect the person doing the suggesting enough to let them know what will happen with their ideas and why, that's when it becomes rewarding for associates to share their tacit knowledge and ideas. That's WOWplace rule number 5. A wow place is rewarding. It may not always be in the form of monetary rewards, but it could just be that we let the person know they make a difference and they're appreciated. Sometimes that's the best reward. Just as our friends and family members know we love and appreciate them, it sure is nice to hear it once in a while. So when we let people know that they make a difference, that's when they take the risk to become fully engaged in their organization. And when they become fully engaged in their organization, that's when they take ownership of every situation over which they have control. And when they take ownership of every situation over which they have control, that is when they begin to proactively anticipate what others need, share what they know, and teach their colleagues how to engage and accomplish the same goals for themselves and everyone around them. And when all of that happens, that's when everyone stops pointing fingers and starts eliminating the us versus them mentality, because they care deeply not only about their personal success, but about the success of the entire company. And that is when you know you have turned your workplace into a wow place. If you'd like to find out more about these important concepts that will help engage and inspire your workforce at a higher level, or if you'd like to invite Sandy to speak to your organization, please visit us at www.thewowplace.com or at any of the other places where we are on the internet. I look forward to working with you.
What is my wow gonna be? It's all about you, not all about me. What is my wow gonna be? It's all about you, not all about me. What is my wow gonna be? It's all about you, not all about me. What is my wow gonna be? It's all about you, not all about me.